I think there's a lot of toxicity in academia, I would say, or it's just like people are just. I mean, yeah, you get too used to rejection, but also sometimes people are just mean. For no reason. Yeah, and then they just So like there was a paper that I was on, and the person because you know how the postdocs do all the work, and then this postdoc, she had done all the work and was about to submit it, and then like somebody sent in the last minute comment, and she basically didn't have time to address it, and then she just went ahead and submitted it. And after she submitted it, the person came back and was just really nasty about it. They were just like, I can see that none of my comments have been addressed here, and just like, I don't know, like, you know, why you've done this, blah, blah, blah. Like, and it's just like unnecessary, I feel. Like, you just, like, people know, like, everyone is time poor, and just, I feel like it's already been submitted. Like, what are you trying to get out of this? And there's like so many stories about that. Like, there was, so many stories. So there was this, like, this sort of happened to me as well, but I wasn't a part of it. So I was organizing this big event, and I was sending out invitations for, you know, people to come and talk. And then someone behind my back, one of the like the higher people in this organization, she knows me, and she's like part of this team, and she's been consulted already. But she came back and directly talked to my supervisor and was like, "I don't think a postdoc should be sending out these invites. It looks very unprofessional."
Right.
Yeah, and it was just like, why? You know that my supervisor, they don't have time to organize the event. It's just going to be me. Even if it comes from them, it'll be me writing the email. Like, why are you so offended? And why do you feel the need to, like, deliberately, like, call me out like this? I don't, My supervisor didn't care, though. She pretty much just like, oh, just ignore her. She didn't even reply.
She didn't reply?
No, she didn't reply. She was just like, yeah, whatever. And then there was, like, there was this dude, I remember, from the ethics department, who I had a question about ethics, because I didn't know where this ethics was supposed to go, because in that university, sometimes ethics goes in different places depending on what department you're part from. I'm just kind of just asking in general where it should go, right? And then I think this person, who's I now know has left the university. He was just like, oh, if you submit it here, you need to do all this stuff. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm not sure if I need to submit it here. I just wanted to check. So that was my reply to him after he sent me the stuff. And he was like, it should have been covered by your supervisor, blah, blah, blah. How do you not already know this, blah, blah, blah. You're wasting everybody's time. Tell me your, like, supervisor's details right now, and I'm going to come and make a complaint about you. And I was like, he was a yes, an absolute dick, but he was known for being a dick. So, like, he's now left, and everybody was like, "Oh, good riddance." This asshole, because he also, like, I think he's the head of the school into that email as well. It was just like, really, it's just so, and it's not just, I have one last story. It's not just in academia as well, right? Oh, I mean, not just in university. So I know that, like, I don't know, sometimes people just feel like they have too much power. So, like, on, I know that I've tried to, you know how there's, like, forums, there's, like, ResearchGate, there's, like, Stats Exchange if you have questions about stuff. So I've seen, like, it's very helpful for when you know, have techie issues or whatever. So there was once I asked a question on the forum, and it's the biggest mistake of my life. Because I realized that people were so mean. I was just pretty much like, hey, I'm using this statistical method, and I'm not sure if it's right. And this person came back to me. It was just like, excuse me, you're wasting everybody's time here. You didn't detail, like, what software you're using, what type of, like, exactly what your variables are. I'm like, and it just, like, that was the only reply that was there. And I was just like, why? What is that? I'm obviously, like, a noob here. Like, why do you have to be like this? Just, I don't understand.
That's so true. But that's the thing. Do you think it's because they're just genuinely dickheads, or are they, you know, a victim of some vicious cycle where they've been treated like that in the past? Like, will we ever be that person? Or is it just a personality thing?
I feel like I try not to. I think that maybe it's a bit of a cycle, but maybe they're just naturally, they're probably, I don't know, I like to think the best of people. I'm like, maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe someone in their family died, or, like, someone ran over their dog, and they're just not in a good place, you know? I still feel like it's not a great excuse. And I feel like, you know, one of the ways that could be combated is if, your supervisor spoke up, maybe, and it's like come and defend you, I guess, because I don't really see that a lot. So I get a lot of these kinds of emails, and no one ever comes to defend me. They might tell me afterwards, like, not to worry about it and that stuff. But I feel like the way to reduce it is that people actually spoke up a bit more, and like this behavior is not acceptable. Like yeah. But I don't know. I'm hoping when I get to that stage, I'll be that kind of supervisor. But I don't know. Maybe there's politics around it that I'm not aware of, and explains why they don't do that. But yeah.
Yeah.